Good morning. That was my high five to the universe. That's what I'm doing. I'm high fiving the universe because I want a high five back. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving it a high five. So welcome everybody to my coffee corner. You got your coffee, you got your tea, got your water, or whatever it is that you love to have in the morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Tuesday. Moon's in Gemini. God help us all. God bless the Geminis. Moon in Gemini always makes me tired. So it does. It's that energy, of like, I got to do all this stuff, and I've already I've already got to do all this stuff. Look at my hair. It's not even staying up. It's not gonna do what it's got to do. It's just falling all over the place. So thank you everybody for joining me, and thank you for watching the replay. My name's Mary June Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. Sit back because I'm going to take you through the highways of what's going to be happening this week because it's a gangbuster, and it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. And thank you everybody for your comments for yesterday. That was awesome. Thank you. People loved how animated I was, so that's really cool. So people enjoyed it and watched it. And so that was totally wonderful. Totally. I love when I say totally. So this is today. Another thing is like when I do my show, this is my show. Welcome to my show. When I do my shows, they are intuitively done. They're not projected at any one person, place, or thing. They are however you want to take it, like whatever information comes in, you want to take the information, how you want to take it, it's up to you. But always check in with your ego, because your ego might say, I don't want to listen to her. Yeah. That could be your Saturn talking there, right? So just check in to see how it is relating to you. So welcome everybody. I just thought I'd add that too. So what's going on? Well, we got Uranus is going to be opposite Mercury this week. And the sun is going to be sextiling Chiron and squaring Venus. And Venus is not happy. So we got a very grumpy Venus. She's very pissy. And a few things about that is that where Mercury is where Venus retrograded in 2018. So lovely Mr. Mercury is going to be going over that spot in Scorpio Libra, the same place that Venus went through in 2018. So we got some information that's going to be coming up and rising from whatever happened in 2018. You got to love how the planets work. Like the planets get us to really look at things, give us some time, and then it has us sort of take another look. This is why this happened, or this is what's going on. And it gives you some really good foresight in going forward. So there's that energy that's happening right now. Pluto's really getting us to the bottom and the intensity, and it's the messages. We're going to be getting a lot of messages. There's a lot of energy with messages that are coming in. Jupiter sextiling Neptune. Looking at our true selves, baby. Looking at our true selves. Looking at what's better. This is about adversaries. This is looking at different parts of ourselves and coming into a lot of truth. So this week is really bringing in some energy, not as intense as what last week was, I would say. It's all depending where everything is in your chart, but I feel like this week, especially since Pluto stationaried and Saturn stationaried last week, I mean, that really got things really rumbling, right? It was a shit show with a drug dealer in our neighborhood. Oh, really? Yeah. And this week, the thing is that we're January, where Pluto began to do its thing, was in January of this year. And then Saturn. So we have this energy that's sort of coming back up from January and March, from where Saturn began to do its stationary and going into the retrograde. And this is like, what's your soundtrack? That's what keeps coming up. What is your soundtrack? What is it that you keep playing? So what is that story? What is that music that you keep playing over and over again? Or what is the song that keeps coming up? And can you find a new soundtrack if you don't like that soundtrack? So this is back. This is going to back to those things, tuning in and looking at your January and March. What was going on in January and March? What do you want to do about it? Right? This is what do you want to do about it right now? And this is looking at, where Saturn is structure, Pluto is transformation. So it's looking at your structure and how you are transforming with that. This is where Jupiter is bringing in the real big energies, and they're all at what we call the world points. And the world point is about 22 and a half cardinal signs. Cardinal signs are those signs that start the season. So Aries, we have spring. Cancer, we have summer. Libra, we have fall. And Capricorn, we have winter. And the starting of seasons is always at the 0 degree point within those cardinal signs. And then we have another point, which is 22 and a half. So they're coming into this world point. And this world point is really coming into an activation, especially between now and November the 13th. So world points means that there's something big that's going to be brewing or coming up within your life, within the world around you. And it's starting to really come forward and come big into your world. And how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to bring it into a structure? How are you going to allow for whatever is no longer working for you to be a transformation? And Jupiter is going to bring it in as a big thing. So we know it's something big that's coming up, right? So for instance, the Pluto Saturn conjunction on January 13th was at a world point. That's why all the astrologers were like, wow, there's going to be some crazy things happening, because we knew that Pluto was about transformation and Saturn is about structure. So we knew that there's something big that's going to happen in a world point, and hence what happened? Well, we all know. So 0 degrees of a cardinal, and then there's 15 degrees of fixed. These are all world points, 7.5 of mutable, and then it goes on to the cardinals on a 90. This makes a cardinal cross. So when I talk about a cardinal cross, that's what it is. It's like these 90 degree, each side is a 90 degrees, right? So 90 degrees. And to look at those 90 degrees, where are they and what are they activating? And this is where you'll find that people who have this grand cross in there could be, somebody who's famous. Tom Hanks has a cardinal cross, and it activates all those points in his chart. So he's known on the world scene, and making a big influence onto the world. So those are really action-packed points. Those are those points that are going to turn things on. Now, Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto are now coming into this 22 degrees Capricorn. And it would be interesting, for you to look at your chart to see where the Mafia brothers are. Where do they lie in your chart? And where is that 22 point? That is an activation. That is what's going to be activating in your life. Okay? So if it's in the 6th house and you got Capricorn in your 6th house at 22 degrees, that's about your life. That's about your workings. That's how you deal from day to day. That has to do with things to do with fitness, health. So a lot of things would be activating there for you. Okay? So take a look. If you don't know, hence, book a chart reading. Okay? Come on in, get a reading done. So we can do that. When Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto at 22 degrees, This is when this happened too, was when Harry and Meghan quit the royal family. It was like, what? And all of that started to happen. So we saw a lot of transformation and beginnings of change that we haven't had in a long time, right? So Mars is meeting with the Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. He met with them in March. That started to activate even more. That's when the shutdown started. That's when the new story started. Mars is now saying, back in January and March, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's your question. What is it that you are wanting to do in your life? Mars retrograde is time to revise. So it's time, it's your timing. It's time to revise something, time to look at things, what needs to be revised, what was activated. Now, see, the planets give us dates. So like July 25th, what was activated between July 25th and September 9th? What was happening there? What was going on? Now, a lot of times with this energy, what happens with this energy is that some people are having fabulous year where they're getting job offers, or they're moving, or their business is actually thriving through all of this. And they are watching or observing other things that are going on. Others, where it's activating in your chart, are really feeling it and feeling the energies that are getting you to revise and relook and change your structure so you can transform it. And Jupiter is going to make it big. So if you're wondering what's going on in your life right now, it's time for you to take a look at where are these activating in your chart. And if you don't know, again, book a reading, book a chart reading. Let's take a look if you're unable to do it on your own, because there's a lot of information that comes up. Now, these points and this energy that is coming in, Mars is now saying to take a look at it. And Mars is with Eris. Eris is the goddess of discord. Eris. Remember, she's the one who started the Trojan War. She wasn't invited to the wedding. She threw the apple in. So she's a goddess of discord. So this discordant attempt, this energy that's coming in, is squaring off the Mafia brothers. This is what's happening. So she's squaring off. Venus now is in Virgo. She don't like Virgo. She don't want to be in Virgo. She's just like, if I have to be here, I'm going to make sure everybody else knows that I'm in Venus, because I'm Venus and I'm in Virgo and I don't want to be here. And when she gets into Virgo, she has that laser point of finding whatever is out, like my hair or something else, is not in alignment. Like my shirt. Oh, she'd be like, oh, you went on camera like that, Mary. Your shirt isn't done. You don't even have enough lipstick on. You don't have this. Like, she would pinpoint, and it feels mean. It feels mean because it's critical. She's critiquing what needs to be done. Love the Virgos. The Virgos will be, you paint a whole room, you do everything, beautiful color, and they will look around, you missed a spot. What about the rest of the room? The rest of the room is fine, but you missed a spot. That is Virgo. That is Venus in Virgo. Venus comes in and she is the goddess of beauty. She's the goddess of money. And she wants the things to look good, feel good. She's the goddess of relationships. She rules Libra and Taurus. She wants things good. Now, if they're not good, if they're not fine, she's going to let you know. So you might be having this energy that this is coming in, because we have this week, the Hammer of Thor is coming back in. Now, we had the sun just a month ago, because it was in Virgo, going over this part for the hammer of Thor. Venus isn't as nice as the sun. She ain't nice at all. She's that one that could come in and just like, I don't like that. Fuck you. You're out of here. That's Venus in Virgo. And now she's got the hammer of Thor. You got to think of what is the hammer of Thor. The hammer of Thor is like, in mythology, if he wants, he could take the top off mountains. The hammer of Thor is also lets him know when things aren't going well. Or it could smite you. Or you could be the smiter. Doesn't matter. See, this is what this energy does. This is what it's all about. And the thing is, with the hammer of Thor, happens this week, and we know about it in September, and it arched over through it, and the sun came through. And now this is where, with Venus not being happy, she's cranky, she answers to Mars. And Mercury in Scorpio. Because, Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. Of Virgo. So Venus is in Virgo. So she's answering to two of these guys. Think she likes it? And this energy that's coming in with Venus, with Mercury in Scorpio, approaching retrograde, digging deep, just like, I'm not going to move from here. I'm Mercury. And Mercury's kind of like, he's a balanced dude. He takes whatever anybody says and, just sort of tosses it around. He's not, he doesn't get in too much of this gossip or that gossip. He just knows a lot. He's in all the groups at the school. He's the guy who knows what everybody else is doing. So if you watched Gossip Girl, he's Dan. Okay, because it was Dan at the end who was Gossip Girl, if you watched Gossip Girl. So he is Dan. He knows the ins and outs and what's everybody doing. That's it. That's Mercury. Okay? Whoa! Welcome to Arizona. Zonia. I don't know where Zonia is. Maybe it's another planet. But hello, Tanya. I am glad you are in your new home. Whew, it's kind of alien there too. So Arizona's kind of weird. Mountains and everything else. So it's kind of odd. I thought when I went through Arizona, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh. Okay, now, you know what, Tanya? Now I will come and visit you because you're in Arizona. Sorry, Des Moines, Iowa was just like, not too sure. But now I can visit you. Yes. So, and the borders are open. Never know. Mama might go on a road trip. So Mercury, I wasn't sure about Iowa. Mercury, two choices on who to report to, Mars or Pluto, because Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio. So you see how this is working. We look at who the ruler of whatever sign, and we see where Venus is, and Venus rules, she rules the two, Libra and Taurus, but she's making an accord to Mercury and Mars. And those two, like Mars is the ruler of over here of Scorpio, and then we go up over there. Okay? So we're all coming to visit you in Arizona. So this is bringing in very analytical, very process oriented. Okay? And this is attention to stuff, job to improve. Venus in Virgo is, she wants to fix that spot. Laser focus. Virgo's laser focus. That's what they have. They have laser focus. Look at that's out of that. That's Venus. That's Virgo. So she's hitting these points. She's hitting Athena, Jupiter. She's going to hit Pluto and Saturn. And this is going to come in and activate. And the sun did this a few weeks ago. It activated these points. It went over. There was a Thor. There's a hammer of Thor. He activated things. He got things going. But it was like not so laser pointed. It was pretty crazy, but not as bad. So Jupiter was yesterday. Pluto's on the 9th. Eris is on the 10th. Saturn is on the 11th. So the hammer is swinging. Okay? And it's going to go boom, 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 boom. So to look at where these points are in your chart, to see where things are going to come in for you. Is it, what house is this in? Where are they? Where is Mars and Eris in your chart? Where is that energy? What house is that in? So go to Cafe Astrology, go to astro.com, put your info in there, take a look with the transits for your chart and have a look. And if you're not sure, you're like, I don't know what the hell this means, book an appointment. So we have this energy that's coming in, and this is hard work. Venus is in action. The end is hard work. This is what's coming in. And Mars comes in, and it's squaring Pluto on the 9th. So that's Mars and Eris, and Mars squaring Pluto. So this is also where Mars is coming into the notes of faith, which are the North Node and the South Node. Those fates, we call them fates or nodes, were activated with the eclipse on June 5th, 21st, and July, because we had 3 eclipses this summer. Those were activated. Those are activations of saying, what are you doing? What are you rising to? What are you working on? And those are coming in with this too. So the hammer is knocking off the mountain. Harshness coming in. And we have the moon, because the moon squares, right now she's going to square Venus for a bit. Then the moon goes on in Gemini. But after Gemini comes into Cancer. Now, those who took my peek into October, remember I talked about how the moon is activating different things. Has a lot to do with how we're reacting. And when the moon in Cancer, it's going to be opposite the Mafia brothers. So in comes this energy, and she's going to be activating, and the boys are squaring off to Eris, the goddess of discord. So this week is raising things up. It already started last week. We saw some pretty crazy things being activated and raised last week, right? This week it's like, okay, what is really going on? Is this really happening? So last week with Pluto and Saturn was the cooking energy. Everything was cooking up or preparing. What's interesting in the world, full moon to new moon. Right now we are in a releasing. We're waning, we're getting smaller, we're releasing what anything isn't in that alignment for our structure and our transformation. So we're going through this energy, and it's coming in very intensely. And we're feeling it. We're feeling, a little bit off. We're feeling stressed. We're feeling overwhelmed. All of this. And then, somebody comes in and says to you, Mama, your hair? Sorry. You should, you should be putting it up. Maybe you need some pins. Maybe you need this. And it's not that it's a critical, it's a critique, not a critical, but it's a critique. So these critiques are coming in. And you might find that with these critiques coming in, that they are feeling very heavy. Okay? Now, I talked about the world points and what the world points. So we got to look at what the world points are: solstices and equinox. Okay, and at 0 degrees. Now, this is where it comes in very cool, and this is why I want people to take the Celtic Goddess class with me, because this is like blows your mind, as above, so below. Because now we got this cardinal cross, right? So we have these activation points. And then we have cross corner days, like Groundhog, May Day. So those cross corner points, so we have a pie, and then we cut the pie again. And those are in fixed ones, like, and those are at 15 degrees. So those are at Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So those fixed points at 15 degrees is when we have Halloween. It's when we have like, May Day celebrations. Those are the quarter points. Okay. Very cool. Then we have where we have to cut it again is at 22 degrees. And that's where these Mafia brothers are. They're at 22 degrees. And the 22 degrees are the Aries, the Libra, the Capricorn. Then we go a little bit more to the opposite, because we can't leave out the mutables, which is 7.5. Any of these degrees, 1 degree either way in your chart, is an activation of that point, of that world point. And wherever that activation point is what is activating you in your life. Okay? So we have these activation points, just like when the eclipse is activated, those nodes were activating this energy to get us going, to ignite us. And that's what they were doing. So they were beginning to ignite us, beginning to get us to see things in our world. And with, especially when it comes to different activation places, they're hard aspects. They're hard aspects because they're action oriented. Squares are action oriented. Quincunx are action oriented. These are action oriented points to awaken us to get going, to get us to see things, to move things, to really start to say, hey, I got to change things. And sometimes they're not fun. Okay, because Saturn gets you to do things you don't want to do, or maybe even do things that you do want to do, depending on where it is, right? So for me, Saturn is in Aquarius. It wants to get out there. It wants to, communicate. It wants to be a part of community and bring in community and work with people. Very Saturn. It's like very oriented. This is what we're doing. But Saturn could come in and say too, where it's like right now, Mary, you got things to do. You got to work on these projects. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to work. But in order for me to work with the groups, I got to put things together, whether that is, has to do with the class or a workshop or putting booklets together. That's the action point that has to do, because that's going to bring in the transformation. So look around and see what is going on in your world. What's happening? Where are these activation points in your life, and what is happening? Because as Mars is trining Sagittarius south node and sextiling the north node in Gemini, this is activating. They're activating. They're going to be activated on the 10th. So we have this activation of saying, where? Action point. Mars is action. Where are we acting? Where are we acting in our life? Where are we acting in our communication, in our relationships, going outward? Where is Gemini in your chart? And take a look. Where is that activating in your chart? And you get an idea of saying, oh, okay, this is what's going to be coming. This is what I need to be working on. And then you're able to act on it. Taking that action, taking that And that's really what Saturn is getting us to do. It's getting us to move into a new way. That Uranian energy, which is coming in and it's opposing, it's going to come up and oppose Mercury, is really going to bring in some unthinkable energy that we haven't even thought about, either in our own life or in the world around us. So there is energy that is like not even conceived yet that we thought would happen is coming in. So there's big opportunities to take responsibility. This is big opportunities to make changes and the changes you want in your life. And we got to look at Saturn and how it works in the world, because that's what we have to take a look at. We have to start taking a look at how we are taking action in our world, how we are taking responsibility within our world, and what that is. So this is about responsibility and joy. And in Hawaiian, it's called kulina. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this is mine. You know, they say, oh, that's my kulina. So that is mine to do, or that isn't mine to do. Right? So it's the responsibility and joy. What brings you joy with your responsibility? If it's not bringing you joy, if it's not bringing you some kind of satisfaction, then who are you doing it for? That means that you're doing it for somebody else. A lot of people say, I have to do that. That's just what I have to do. I don't like it, but I have to do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Really. You're making that choice. We live in countries. The majority of people who watch me live in countries that you have freedom of choice on whether to act or not to act. And how you take that responsibility is up to you. You don't live in a country that you don't have to take on responsibilities that are not yours. So we live in countries. Doesn't matter if you live in England, in Germany, in Sweden, in Norway, even in South Korea. There are countries out there. It's not just Canada and United States. There's other countries that are free, that you're able to take, choices of what you want to do. So look at, this is where this energy is coming in and saying, where are you going to take your responsibility and your joy? Because Mars square Pluto, what that means is war. Now, you got to look at that. Is that war inside yourself? Is that war around you? Where is that activating? War kills and sends to Pluto realm. Kills it. Here you go, Pluto. Transform it. Here you go, Pluto. Take this. Transform it. That's what it does. And when it's coming up to a square, it's fighting. It's harsh. It's not easy. It's not easy. This is a vicious fight with Mars at home and Pluto stopped. So this is a whack down, smack down, come on, baby, get in the ring. We're going to get this done kind of thing. This is life, reality, and frustration. We are going to be annoyed. We're going to be overwhelmed. But how are you relating that and dealing with that in your life? How are you bringing that into a transformation? What is the song you are playing? That's the key. If you're playing some crazy, sappy song and my life sucks and oh, woe is me, what song can change it around? And yes, you could show me everything that is wrong in your life. Everything. It's this, it's this, it's this. How are you taking responsibility for it? How are you allowing it to die to get transformed with Pluto? That's the question. How are you letting it die to let it go transformed? Kuhulina. Responsibility and joy. Responsibility and joy. Are you taking on somebody else's responsibility? Is that, is that what you, and I know, I just hear it now. I just hear a lot saying, well, I have to take this on. This is what I, blah, blah, blah. I signed up for this, or I have to take this on. Okay. It's your choice. There's certain things that are definitely a responsibility. I mean, if you have children, definitely those are a responsibility. That's a moral responsibility that you have taken on, to bring that child in and love them, care for them, feed them, and house them, and make sure that they are kept well and safe. That's a responsibility. That's a true humanitarian and a higher octave responsibility. But I'm talking about responsibility within life, your day-to-day, on the choices that you are making. That's what I'm looking at. And it's not me looking at it. That's what the astrology is saying. Wow. That's what this week is bringing in. So it's a heavy duty week. There's a lot coming in, and there's a lot releasing this week for us. So it's getting in and taking a look at what you are releasing and what you need to release within your own realm. There you go, my loves. And Tanya, I am so happy you made the move. Blessed be, girl. Blessed be. Do a whole blessing to your land, to your home, to all that you have, to the mountains that you are seeing, and all that is there for you. So, and I hope you got, I'm pretty sure you got air conditioning, because, girl, you're going to be needing that air conditioning where you are. So we want to make sure the furnace is working. Arizona, we want to make sure the air conditioning is working, and there's a pool close by. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, my loves, I'm going to send you out so much love. And the angels are coming in strong this week. I mean, they're always here, but they were coming in strong last week, but I really feel their presence here this week. So call upon your angels and ask for your angels to come and forth to be with you, guide you. And if someone is smiting you, or the hammer of Thor is coming down, take a look at why it's coming down. There's a reason. I've had the hammer of Thor many times in my life, and there's always a reason why the hammer is coming down, right? There's always a reason. And there's something there that needed to be done or removed, or you moved into a new direction. So take a look at that hammer and where it's coming down, or if you're being the hammer coming down, that could be a big one too. If you're the hammer coming down, this could be like, okay, there's a reason why it has to come down. Things have to change. Things have to activate. There's movement. There's change happening. And I can guarantee you there's going to be some crazy surprise that's going to come up in the during this, either today or sometime this week. There's something crazy is going to be announced this week. So just ride the wave. Just play it like a movie, and bring in your music, baby. Bring in your music and let it sing. So may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Book in your readings. Get a hold of me. Let's get you in. And hiding at home instead. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Know that your light is beautiful and allow it to shine. Shine, shine, shine. And Dana, yes, hide in your office, my girl. Light your candles and light some incense and have a great, great time. What time next time? What time next time for what? I don't know what that means. I don't know what time next time for what. Have a blessed one, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.